Any day now, Tooch.
It won't let me go live. Hold on.
You are live.
Okay. Well. All right, weekend sports betting tips on the Barroom Network and streaming issues tonight. X won't let you stream unless you have a premium account. So I'm gonna have to subscribe here soon. It looks like Aldo didn't pay his bill for the Barroom, so I'm gonna tweet out the YouTube link here in just a second.
Probably got a new card. It's understandable.
Yeah. Yep. So let me see here. Yeah, how are you guys doing? Anybody want to talk about last night's Hall of Fame game, Bears Texans, while I tweet this out?
I'll talk about welcome to betting, folks. With your pushes, stop with the whining. You got to pay me. Does not work. I understand. Oh, it was already over. It cannot go under. Not the point. Rules are in place for a reason.
I was happy with the game. I thought it was a very entertaining. I got my money. I mean, it didn't really matter. I only bet $100 on the Texans. Win or lose, didn't really matter. But it was entertaining. Thought it was good.
I was a little shocked by the high scoring. I thought the Bears saying we're not doing nothing, and the Texans I thought maybe score a little bit because you have backup quarterbacks who are NFL starters in Mills and Keenum, right? So that's them scoring. Was I expecting 19-7? I was expecting 19-7 for the game, right? You're going to kind of go. You're playing in week 2 of the NFL season. Thank goodness this game did not.
Those days are over. Those days are over. 19-7 Hall of Fame game.
Yeah,
these guys are playing zero defense.
And they're playing in the second game of the season. How are you out here running real plays? You got a real game where one of you might be 0-1 coming. Yeah. I mean, possibly both teams could be 0-1.
I agree.
We don't know. I mean, and then you're going to go and let's play a bunch of stuff here?
Well, they had 0 starters, 0 starting guys in the game. The defenses on both sides did not exist.
Ugh.
I mean, it was probably the worst defense in an NFL game I've ever seen in my life. I've seen some pretty bad defenses.
For me, I like this game being an exception. When I have the backup quarterbacks that are NFL starters in a little battle, I'm going to look to bet these teams. And you see a couple games coming up this week at the Titans -4 over San Fran. The Cleveland, I think 3.5. You see some bigger lines because you look at these depth charts and you're going to run out a bunch of guys who have played or they got chips on their shoulder. You know, Mac Jones down in Jacksonville, C.J. Beathard, guys who started before. Like Mac Jones, he's got to come out here and be like, I got to throw this ball all over the place. I mean,
was he traded to the Jaguars?
Yeah.
From the Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just something I learned from you guys was look for betting NFL preseason, whichever team has the better backup quarterbacks.
That's all what it comes down to. That's literally what I go off for the most part. Yeah. I mean, if the line is not too crazy, and the backup quarter, that's how I took the Texans yesterday. Yeah. Brett Rippon, I remember seeing him on the Rams last year. I was like, this guy couldn't do nothing. If you can't do anything with the Rams wide receivers last year, how are you going to do anything with second and third string wide receivers that are no names? And he impressed me the most, more than anything. Brett
whatever he did in the offseason. But like I was telling you and I were talking earlier, he was in that system, same system as the Bears are running now. When he was with the Rams, because Waldron was one of the coaches of the McVay tree. But
I think you got to look at the Seahawks with Sam Howell and PJ Walker. I think that's the team to look at.
Big time. Yeah.
And you're talking next what is
this
this?
weekend.
Walker. No.
Game start next Friday.
Yeah, but I think there's a Thursday night game Friday, and there's like games all day Saturday. You know.
Okay.
I'll be enjoying those at Stadium Swim over at Circa there for that. I'll be watching those games from a fancy cabana. How about this? Giants with Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito. We can laugh. Oh, Tommy DeVito and his little leprechaun agent. That dude actually won an NFL game. And you're gonna tell me he's gonna come in at halftime after Drew Lock. Again, this guy was Lock like a first round pick or second round pick? Like he's a guy who is thought of as he's gonna be a star. So I'm gonna get him for a half, and then Tommy DeVito, who's want to come out and put a good show on.
He moves the chains, Tommy DeVito.
Again, against guys his equal or lesser.
Yeah.
You got to look at it. Cowboys are another one. Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. Trey Lance, I'm old enough to remember, he was MVP. People bet him to win MVP when the Niners took him.
I remember.
I mean, crazy. But I don't know. I like to do that, and then you add in the fact that the coaches kind of tell you what they're going to look to do. We're going to run the ball. This guy's going to play a series. You know.
Yeah, you can't count on starting quarterbacks when you're betting the preseason. Don't even count it. You got to play it like they don't even play it.
Yeah,
unless they're playing a whole quarter, a whole half. You can't not.
I don't worry about the starter, the name brand. No. It's always who's the number 2, and even that in some case he might not play a lot. Like I'm looking at Cleveland next week. You got obviously Watson. Now
he's not going to play.
But you know what? You got a new offensive coordinator out there. You got a whole new offense. Is he going to get reps? Maybe if he does, he doesn't. Jameis Winston. This guy threw 30 touchdowns in the season. Who cares? They threw 30 picks. He could tear up an NFL defense for 30 touchdowns. What you could do against these guys? DTR and Tyler Huntley. Huntley went to the playoffs. He started a playoff game and almost won that ridiculous game versus the Bengals. And somehow the dude made the All-Pro team, starting 3 games and throwing 4 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, don't worry about the first name starter. It's the coach is gonna say this guy's gonna play a series. It's the backups. And like you said, Ant, Hall of Fame game, I'm like an under guy because it's just usually a throwaway kind of game. You've taken away that extra game for preseason. I don't know. Like I think teams are gonna come out and start chucking next week.
See, the thing about the Hall of Fame game, is, if you get the number early, like you got a 40, didn't you? You got the number at 40?
39.5 or 40, yeah.
Okay. It went all the way down to 31.5, 32, 33. The value's gone. What are you betting the under for? Bet the over. Because more than likely that number, in my opinion, I was like, this game's going to end between 35 and 40. That's my opinion. If you got 31 to 33, just take the over if you're playing the total. Otherwise, that's why I just took the Texans. I was like, you know what? I don't want to worry about it. Better backup quarterbacks. Yep. I mean, Case Keenum and Davis Mills. I mean, those guys are starters 3-4 years ago.
Yep.
Versus who? Brett Rippon and
2 years ago. 2 years ago, Davis Mills started Texans, and they thought they had a good starter, and then they fell into a top draft pick.
Yeah, and the Texans would have, the game would have went way under exactly how you predicted if Brett Rippon didn't literally rip the ball across the field 20-yard chunks at a time. The guy played; he was.
Davis Mills was moving the ball too. Yeah,
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, I didn't expect the Bears to score like the way they did. Is what I'm saying. Otherwise, it would have been a 21-7, 21-3, whatever, 21-6. Texans did what I expected them to do because they have the 2 veteran quarterbacks. But Brett Rippon, he did all the offense. I mean, you couldn't stop the guy. The guy looked like he was Peyton Manning out there on the Hall of Fame game.
He looked like he was Uncle Mark Rippon going to the Super Bowl.
I'm telling you. Wearing his uncle's number, too.
Yeah. He was literally laying the ball right in the guy's hands. I mean, right to the receiver's chest. I mean, I was very, very impressed with him. So nobody expected that. If you bet the Bears, you can't say you saw that. You bet the Bears to bet the Bears. That's it.
It's preseason. Don't get too excited. Any team.
Exactly.
All right. It is what it is.
Next weekend, early likes Sean or leans. Sean's on the Giants and the Seahawks.
Actually, yeah, I like both of those. I didn't even look at those numbers, but I'll tell you the Browns -3.5 next week against Green Bay, 3.5. Tennessee's laying a 4 to San Francisco.
I like Tennessee there. Yeah.
New head coach, total rebuild, right? They trade Henry. Yep. Will Levis play some games here? It's going to be who? Malik Willis.
He might play a series. He might play a series.
You know, Levis is backed up by Malik Willis, who they drafted in the same draft as him.
Yeah.
And Mason Rudolph, who was a solid backup of Pittsburgh. I mean,
who's backing up Brock Purdy?
Dobbs, Allen, and Tanner Mordecai.
Josh Dobbs.
Trash. And AKA
Kyle Allen?
Brandon Allen.
Okay.
Kyle's on Pittsburgh.
That's as bad as Brandon Whedon.
Again, what is San Fran doing? You think San Fran is like, we're going back to Super Bowl. Let's just I don't see San Fran doing anything. We're the other team, new coach, new coordinators, quarterback, the whole kit. Everybody's got to prove something for the coach. Yep. And anytime you take over a team, chances are you come into a crap situation. You want wins, right? I saw this with Detroit a couple years ago. They were winless, preseason undefeated. It's like, we got to change the culture. Who cares the preseason? You're losers. You need wins.
Yep.
That's why you bet. Now, will it transpire to the regular season week 1? I don't know about that, but preseason, you know you're going to get 100% effort from everybody on the field because they want to get it. They want a job. They know it's wide open because the guy's coming in with my guys. I got to have, we got to be energy and all that other kind of nonsense, the rhetoric they throw out there. So I'm expecting Tennessee to -4. Well, come on, regular season. What is this? 10. San Fran's 10 on the road in this. This is in October. You know what I'm saying? Even on the road, they'd be sizable fave. So,
100%.
Quick questions. How important is it for you to make your own lines?
I don't making your own lines of preseason. I don't do that. How
regular season?
Regular season is one thing because you should have an idea of how you think the games will play. Yeah. You should think what the line should be. I always used to just write my games out like a week ahead of time. Like, I think the lines are going to be this. Kind of like the NCAA tournament. Like, I'd be like, all right, here are the brackets. Mm-hmm. I'd write them all down or print them out. Then I kind of put now the lines are up as they're doing it. The channels screws you up. You can't even write them down. But I kind of just say what I have it. I just off the top of my head, not even comparing team to team, like jumping into numbers. Just be like, all right, I think this team's a 4 or a 3 or a 7. Right. Preseason, everything should be 3 or less, basically. Right? I mean, who's playing? Because then you see last night the line moved from the Texans were a dog to a favorite because nobody's playing for us today, and the line flips. So again, I look at the quarterbacks. I'm automatically going to be on certain teams to start, and I go from there. Making your lines a preseason. How can you? How can you? Because they tell you the day before who's going to play.
Yeah, I was meaning during regular season, but and college football as well.
You should, again, Tooch, you should always have sort of a number what you think it's going to be. That's why I'm always like, I do my show, I'm like a week ahead because this week is gone. I want to see what I think is going to play out. So I'm going to have it as something totally different. You should have it. Even forget football, baseball tomorrow. You should be like, all right, I think this line should be here. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, and people move the line overnight for whether they want to get on it or just fake it. You kind of know what you liked, and were you with it or wrong? Or you're right or wrong. You should have a little number.
Yep.
Even if you're not betting it, learn. That's how you learn.
Yep. I always try to make, especially college basketball or college football, try to make my own line. Football's NFL's been a little difficult for me. I never can get a good handle on it, but
college basketball is a little easier in my opinion for me to get the line to make up the line. If I was like, man, the line should be like probably 9.5, I'm usually about with a point or two on give and take off. I'm pretty good with it. When it comes to football, I'm like, oh, it's probably -3. Nope, -4.5. And I'm like, in football terms, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
See, I find basketball, like if I'm doing like college football, how do you do college football? Michigan. Well, what are they 30-point favorite? Like,
so
it's just how do you throw out?
It's inflated.
Ohio State's a 50-point favorite. I mean, it's something I'm going to look at. So I'm not going to go and make lines for those games. I'm going to say
probably win 56-0.
Right? It's going to be like 55-6, and you lose, or it's 55-0, and you cover by a half. Like we saw that with Michigan last year. It was like 49-0. Their line's 47.5.
I was all over it.
Do you want to get involved in that's not something I'm wasting time on making a line for that. I don't need cupcake schedules. I know people like let's parlay them all up. Let's money line them. Let's go.
What could go wrong?
The minus 10,000s, the minus 5,000s.
17
I did it one time. I wanted
bucks.
to see. I put 10 of them. I put them all on the weekend. It was still like a minus 400. After you put like 10 or 11 of them together, it's like minus 10,000, minus 6,000, minus 8,000. I was just curious. I'm like, what's the minus 400? I was like,
you never get close. Yep.
No. It's like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. You know one of the 10 teams is going to lose.
Anyway, yeah.
10 teams.
NFL, I think easy, but no one's going to be a 27-point favorite. You can look at it and be like, it should be around this number. And then when you hear, if you think it's 4 and it's 3, like, that makes sense. Because you're just biased because you like a team a little more. It's just in your head. So that's fine with me. If I'm right around the number, I feel good about it. But college basketball, God bless. I way too many teams to be trying to make up my own lines there. I mean, I come up with something I think, but I'll go with their lines, and then I just start looking at them. I'm not going to.
Yep. No time.
You know, it's like football now with these portals. You can't really.
The portals kill the whole game. I love it, but I hate it too.
The realignment to talk about coming up.
I
already started doing research.
New teams everywhere. Just the scheduling quirks were high. It's California. Let's go play at Wake Forest today or wherever they're playing. We're playing TCU and Oregon State, or some. You got to. That is not like in the book. Like you need to see that. And I was saying this today when I was on my show. Like to jump into a lot of futures of college football. I got a couple. I got the Utah over. I got a K-State. A couple things I like. But like, how is that? I want to see that on a week-to-week basis to bet a team. I'm not looking to jump into because you got some travel. Like Pac-10 teams are now playing Rutgers. They're in the center of the country playing noon games, and it's 9 o'clock body time for them or 10 o'clock. That's I'm not looking to jump into futures on things like that.
We'll have to take a little look at those college football futures coming up.
So the only thing I like to bet in college football or NFL at our futures. Straight up unders. Straight down the road. Straight
player prop
unders.
Player prop
Unders. Baseball, I'll mix and match. A lot overs, unders, but football, college football, and NFL, straight unders.
And are you talking like wins and losses or like player prop kind of stuff?
Both. Right. I'll never take an over on a team or a player. Like the Colorado, like you said a few weeks ago. You broke it down perfect. It was what the line's like 4.5 or 5.5.
5.5.
I don't see more than 3 wins.
Yep.
In Colorado. I mean,
most bet team on to make the playoffs.
Coach Prime.
Their own players are even saying on social media how bad their team is. Their offensive line, the worst. Their defense, the worst. That's from their own players. So imagine when they play like a Nebraska, they play a TCU.
Nebraska's supposed to be pretty good, man.
They should be improved. Yeah. I mean, Nebraska, I think they fumbled on our first 3 possessions last year. I'm like, you got to be kidding me with this crap.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, I had that game. That was just bad luck. Yep. They had a lot of bad luck plays.
Even their first game, because I had TCU in their first game. TCU fumbled in the end zone, threw an interception in the end zone. I mean, like, just ridiculous nonsense. Like, terrible.
I had that too.
Terrible.
All right, speaking of
terrible.
Baseball, MLB trades. Who won the trades, Sean? Who do you think made the best trades? Or
you know what? Call me crazy. I think the Dodgers won the trades. Let me tell you why. You go into the playoffs. You got Glasnow, you got Flaherty, you got Kershaw and Yamamoto, potential 1, 2, 3, 4 in the playoffs. It's all about pitching. And then they added what was it? Was it Dylan Carlson? No, who they? Oh, Eddie Rosario from the Rays.
Yeah, who they had before.
He was their best. He was arguably their best player. The Rays. I mean, that's another one. I hate to say it, but they might have, like I was telling Tooch the other day, they traded the players they needed to trade.
Yeah,
their closer. He's not that great. He's good, but then he gives up a lot. You think the Yankees closer is bad? Peter Fairbanks is just as bad.
Who'd he go?
I think he went to Yankees. No,
did he go? No, no Yankees.
Fairbanks.
Did he? I don't know.
About
Adams. They wouldn't trade him to the Yankees. That's
okay. No way. Adams, he was a good one. Setup man. He's gone. But those were two guys that they were so wishy-washy. You don't know who's going to show up that day. Paredes, he had to go. If you're Tampa, you're giving up. You got a $28 million contract with Paredes. You got Morel, who's arguably, in my opinion, better and just younger and has so much more development to do. Plus, they got two more guys. I think Tampa, when it comes to selling, they made a big splash. And they still got a solid lineup, except for their catcher and their shortstop. They're just trash.
They free up cash with Eflin. So that's typical what they do.
Yeah.
Where did Eflin
he was a
go?
free agent.
He's on the Orioles.
He was a free agent. I mean, they got 2-3 guys from every trade.
The pretty
Rosarena.
Like when that trade went down, I was like, what is this? It's a lateral move. But I guess I didn't know Pretty had a $28 million contract. That makes perfect sense. Tampa Bay does what they do. And you got a guy who hits just as many homers in Morel. So I don't know for trade. The Eflin trade was nice. Always needed a pitcher. Then they got Trevor Rogers, who looked like crap yesterday, but he had pitched decent. I wish they would have got. I don't care. I know people say I'm crazy. I would have traded Jackson Holiday for Mason Miller. You can't think like, well, he's going to be good down the road. You're going to lose a World Series because Craig Kimbrell is going to come in and screw things up and blow games for you. You needed to get that closure role. Maybe not him. Why not Tanner Scott? Why not the guy in college? You could have went anywhere for another closer.
What happened to the closer from last year?
He got hurt.
Where's he at? Gone for the year?
I don't know when he's come back. I
don't remember. I don't remember him even starting the season.
I thought he was hurt.
He was dominant last year. Dominant.
Who's that? Batista? Who's that Batista, right?
I think his name was Batista. I think so.
Yeah. 33 saves last year, 148 ERA. Yeah. He's hurt. He's been out.
Some of these trade players are pitching tonight.
The Padres, let's talk about the Padres. We can laugh about Martin Perez, but they did the best job in the bullpen.
That was an underrated
that team. Yeah. This is now the third year in a row. Again, it's Martin Perez in a 5 ERA. But you got Darvish coming back. You got Musgrove coming back. Cease has been good. Where's the pressure? There's no pressure on these guys. That's the team you worry about. You know, I don't know why the Cardinals bought guys in. I've been adamant about them trading. Why? Oh, you just got to get into playoffs. In the playoffs with Arenado and Goldschmidt, you could have dumped those guys and just cleared the payroll. Forget about trading Sonny Gray or Lynn or Kyle Gibson. You saw the return for Kikuchi. Why weren't the Blue Jays trading guys left and right? They could have restocked and been back in 2 years.
That's another one.
You don't want to trade Vlad Guerrero? That's fine. You could have traded Springer or Kirk or Varsho or anybody else. You traded Turner. The asking price for pitchers was insane. Tanner Scott.
Think about Springer.
Three of the top guys out of the Padres system.
Springer has a $200 million contract. That's the reason he wasn't traded. Nobody wants it.
Well, if you would have DFA'd him, someone would have taken him. The Yanks picked up J.D. Davis for everything. I mean, come on. Dallas Keuchel was picked up for $1.
That's a typical Yankees thing, though. That's,
And
I think the Frankie Montas trade was a good one for the Brewers.
That's it. The who?
Frankie Montas. That was a great pickup.
If he's healthy.
He's healthy right now. I mean, he's not really pitching. I mean, he had one bad last start, and everybody's going off that. But I've been watching him.
The Jazz trade for the Yankees. No, so we're car guys. So we've been excited about him. He's out of town.
Yeah.
Judge and Soto, Stanton is back. This guy. I was like, nobody Yanks are making the playoffs because I was just so adamant about their lineup and their pitching. I don't know. Because now I think they could hit their way back into the playoffs with crappy pitching.
Yeah.
Because
and Clark Schmidt's come back in a couple weeks.
Again, this is like Darvish and Musgrove. You're coming back from injured list. You talked about Kershaw coming back. I mean, Walker Buehler's coming back. What are you going to give them? You mentioned their staff. You didn't mention Gavin Stone, who might be their best guy on their staff right now. This guy's 9-3 with 3 ERA.
Mr. 5 innings, 1 earned run every start.
Dodger baseball, bro. So all their guys are 5-inning guys. Glasnow's topped out. Glasnow's 30. This is the most innings ever pitched in his life. Is he going to last? What's Kershaw got in the tank of 40? He got shelled yesterday. He's not going to go more than 5 innings.
He didn't even get an out.
It's the Dodger, LA 5-inning Dodgers. It's the 5-inning. Everybody on that team: Urias, Tyler Anderson, Goslin, Stone, Sheenan. What other young guy? Every pitcher comes in here, 5 innings. We got a baby at 5-inning guys. You wonder why everybody just go and throw as hard as you can for 5 innings. Who cares? You get Tommy John surgery. We'll just bring some clown up here. That's baseball today. 5-inning guys with Tommy John.
Yep. All right.
It was good though. It was a good trade, Mark.
How about Pittsburgh getting your boy De La Cruz?
I was so happy he was traded, but I was like, he was traded to what? I mean, it was literally like a horizontal trade. I was like, dude, you just went to another shit team.
They're in the playoffs, though. They're in a playoff hunt. They're in second place.
You know damn well that ain't gonna last.
I'm just saying. I mean, they're losing 5-0 right now.
Man. It's Pittsburgh. At the end of the day, Skeens is going to be shut down in September. I mean, this team's just going to fall apart, just like a typical Pirates season.
I'm not getting an argument for me that happened. I'm just saying they went to a second place team.
By the way, the Marlins are up 2-0, Tooch.
All right.
Are they really?
On the Braves.
Yeah.
All right. We got Rangers and Red Sox tonight. Urena versus Crawford. Over under sitting at 9. Rangers
put in the road team on the right side.
Is that they put out? Well, am I supposed to do it? I thought this is the right way.
You keep doing it soccer,
it's
European soccer
team.
way.
Okay, I got to do it.
The road team is first. The road team is always first.
Not European.
Sorry, I messed it up again.
What other podcast do we ever about that like goes?
We've had
crazy
we had 2 weeks off, so I was like, I forgot. All right, it's supposed to be at. All right, Red Sox are at the Rangers. Yeah,
I like the Rangers.
I do
like
too.
the Rangers too.
Yeah, I do too. The historic. I mean, they're starting to come around with the bats.
That's another team. You just don't know who's going to show up. They either flat or they show up.
Speaking of Rangers, trading Lorenzen, a pitcher, like you think they want their pitchers back.
To the Royals.
How about the Royals going all in? Not all. I mean, basically all in. They got some bullpen help. They got some pitchers. I mean, I like it.
It doesn't hurt. I still think they need 2 bats. I think they need 2 bats. Because they're shortstop and I think not a shortstop. Second baseman and one of the outfielders is just really, really keeping them down.
I think I got Vinny P had a couple homers last night.
It's a first baseman, a DH.
You got a couple rain delay starts going on today here, huh?
Let's real quick. While the Bears game last night was being in a rain delay, the Cubs were in the middle of a comeback 5 miles north.
Yep.
In the same pouring rain and the lightning and all. But it's funny because I think it's about 5 miles, right, Tooch?
Yep.
From Soldier Field to Wrigley Field, it's about 5 miles. So 5 miles separate. Oh, you got lightning.
No. Hold on a second. That game was that Wrigley or was that in Ohio at the
Wrigley? That was in Wrigley.
You sure it's not at Canton? I thought the Hall of Fame games played in Canton.
No,
the Hall of Fame game.
Was it in Chicago? No. Oh, I thought it was in Chicago.
I think they played that in Canton because it's Hall of Fame weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in Canton. Hall of Fame.
Never mind.
Canton, Ohio.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, dude, 5 miles north. These guys are in the middle of the same storm you guys are in, lightning and all, and they're in the middle of a 9th inning comeback with 2 outs.
Remember a couple years ago they didn't even play the game because the field was bad. Remember that one?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody likes the Rangers here. Money line, Twins minus 330 versus White Sox. Ryan versus Martin.
Lock of the day.
Yep.
Twins money line, lock of the day. Here we go.
I got Ribby props in this game. Miranda plus 130, Santana plus 190, Brooksley plus 220, and our guy Will Castro plus 190. 4 Twinkies, all big plus monies for Ribbies.
So the lines on this for team total, I looked, were Twins over 5.5, and White Sox over 2.5. I think over 2.5.
I like the over in this game. Yeah. I like the over.
Well, we can't say Eloy's going to hit homer because he's on the Orioles now.
Yeah, did you see that thing I tagged you in? Eloy's
his injury.
Every injury.
I was like, wow, that's a good pickup. Like he's going to come here, put him at DH. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He can't even exploit that field.
Yep.
Twins team total over 5.5, Anthony.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I think they get about 2 or 3 runs off Martin, and then they just erupt on the White Sox bullpen. Since this 17-game losing streak, the White Sox bullpen is the main reason, believe it or not the hitting, not the starting pitch, the bullpen is the main reason that the White Sox have a 17-game losing streak. If it wasn't for the bullpen, the White Sox would have took 2 out of 3 versus the Royals the last series.
All right, you heard it here. All right.
So,
here we're talking about Astros and Rays. Kikuchi, a pickup for the Astros versus Baz. Both guys have pitched decently this season. Got an over-under sitting at 7.5, so not a lot of runs scored. Sean, you like the under in this one?
I think I would lean under, but it's
me too.
I had nothing. It didn't jump out of me either way. Not even as a free pick on any of my sites. I'm like, Now tomorrow I could do some Astros run line with Castro versus Littell. Littell's got a 343 batting average against on the road. So tomorrow run line Astros. Today not so much.
Anthony, any thoughts? Astros Rays.
I was thinking about this game this morning. Number one, you can't touch the Astros at -160 because you know damn well the Rays is going to be pesky and they're going to give them every bit. But
crappy.
On the other hand, you can't touch the Rays either at +135 only.
Now where are they?
There's no value. There's not enough value for me to take them. The line's 7.5. It's like you're begging to take the over, but I just can't. This game is there's just no edge in this game. I'm not betting the game. There's just no edge. So. This is a no opinion.
No edge either way on the side or total. Yep.
Yeah. It can. There is literally 50-50 shot, flip a coin on the side and the total in this game.
Yep. Nope. No edge. Angels Mets. Anderson versus Blackburn. Blackburn, pretty good pickup for the Mets, Anthony. I know you like that one.
That's your guy. He loves Blackburn.
I love Blackburn.
Anderson has pitched well too.
Why is he still on this team?
See,
you could have traded him or
that is the number one thing. Me and Sean have been saying this since the middle of June.
Yep.
Tyler Anderson will be on the Dodgers.
It's a perfect
You could have got this for basically nothing. What are the Angels doing? Are you kidding me?
It's a perfect fit.
You could have got a guy from Single A. You could have got a guy that plays in the minors for 10 years. Anybody for Tyler Anderson. What are you doing? You're actually trying to win? I mean, you're not going to win. The guy will pitch 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 5-6 innings, and then your bullpen's going to blow it. So what's the point of keeping him?
Joe Adell. Nobody wants Joe Adell in his 16 homers?
No. Pedro Serrano.
Homers.
Oh, yeah. He's
Mike Trout, again, out for the year.
Yeah. I mean, he might as well. Why would you want to go back to a team of a bunch of losers?
Why wouldn't you trade Brandon Drury?
That dude's a fossil. I feel like he's been on every team.
Wow, he's hitting 160.
Everybody is betting bad. You're only as good as the people around you. Period. That's it. You put Brandon Drury on the Mets, he's batting 360.
Last year, he batted 262, 26 homers, 83 RBIs. Not bad.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, Sean, any thoughts, side or total, Angels, Mets?
I want to take the Angels. I just can't. They're just
Mets in the under.
And the Mets are in for a long little road trip here. They go here, they're in St. Louis, then they go to Seattle, Colorado. They're all over the place.
Did you see that? Did you see how crazy that schedule is?
This is unkind.
Yeah.
It's LA for 3 games. 1 game in St. Louis, by the way. 1 game in St. Louis on Monday.
Makeup game.
In Colorado for 3, in Seattle for 3. Rough. We'll see how the Mets hold up on this.
Looks like the Diamondbacks going yard all day here right now. It's 3 homers already for the Diamondbacks in this game.
It's Pittsburgh. What do you expect?
Mariners, Phillies.
Yeah.
Phillies were hot for a little while, kind of came back down to earth. Brian Wu was injured. Looks like he's back. Versus Tyler Phillips, who's also been pretty good. Over under 8. Mariners, as I've learned, are the ballpark is an under ballpark. Total sitting at 8. I think it opened at 7.5.
It went up. Why? I'm nervous. I like the under here.
Yeah, so do I.
I'm on the under, and I got 7.5 last night. I just thought Phillies on the road, tough pitcher. Woo at home has ridiculous numbers.
Yep.
Seattle can't hit, and this kid Ryan, he's looked all right in his couple starts. This is more Seattle not hitting a lot, and I just thought Woo would shut down Philly. How'd it go up to an 8?
The Mariners put
You know what it is? It's because the public is all betting the Phillies. It's because they look at the lineup. Oh, they could beat up the Mariners.
Yeah,
it's public perception. That's all it is. Public perception.
The Mariners added some hitting to the lineup, Sean.
Yeah, good for them. Maybe will it transpire to anything bringing in these guys? We'll see. I mean, Rosarena, he was starting to play a little better for Tampa, but you're still missing like J-Rod's still out, right? He's been out, and Crawford's I think out for them as well. Seattle. Yep. They can my guy Ty France. They send him DFA the guy. I mean, look at this team. I mean, you look at this lineup, you just shake your head like, holy cow. Yeah. Holy cow. and they're like, oh, it's a pitching is so much better now. I don't know if it's a pitching. If the pitching is so much better, we wouldn't have Carlos Carrasco out here with a 5.60 ERA pitching the games.
That's right.
It's these guys, and I see it on Twitter because there's arguments going back. I think I brought him up on the show before, like the warmonger guy. We talk about the war stat that people like to get into the nerds. Him and this other guy, Nakayeti, and they just do everything. And the comments are just like, well, the strikeouts. Oh, how Trout is so much better than Griffey. And someone's like, the guy hasn't sniffed it. Trout's best year was Griffey's 5th best year. Like ribbies and arm. Well, that doesn't mean nothing because look at the on base. The on base. What? And I'm all for on base, right? You got to get on base for run. How come it's an on base? We're talking about Trout versus Griffey when Trout plays 112 games, Griffey plays 157, hits 58 homers, Trout did 104 runs, but not on base for a guy who strikes out 185 times and hits 205. That's okay. Well, his on base is good. Dude, do you want a guy hitting 205 with 27 homers? No, I don't. I want a guy who's 315, 8 homers, and like 65 RBIs. Give me that guy instead of the guy who's hitting 210 with a better on base. You can't tell me that guy is better. He's not a better player. He's not a better player. Stop striking out. Draw a freaking walk. Hit a sack fly. There we go. I'm done. True. I'm done yelling.
Anthony, Mariners, Phillies.
I'll take the Mariners money line.
Yep.
I'm not sold on the Phillies. Not in this game.
Yeah, Woo for me, he's kind of hit or miss. If he's on, deadly. If he's
when he's at home, he's almost unhittable.
He is ridiculous at home.
Yep.
His home stats are sub-zero stats.
Yeah.
0.61 whip, 155 batting average against, 127, 11 hits in 4 games. And even on the road, 31 hits at 32 innings. I mean, it's not like this guy. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. 4 wins.
I watched him when he played Tampa. I mean,
he's got electric stuff.
His stuff is next level.
Yep.
Very underrated because he's with the Mariners. Yeah. You put him on a big league, money market team. The dude's selling jerseys left and right. But because he's in Seattle, it's just
he's not because he's not a strikeout guy. He's just a guy who gets out. People think that's where people are like, well, he's got a low ERA. Well, look at his whip. Nobody's hit. He's not putting guys on base, and his batting average against is under 2 on the road and at home.
That's why I'm not. Well, when I was telling you about Midday Bunny, I'm not sold on Assad. Assad gets in jams all the time. The dude struggles to get through 5 innings.
Well, that's why they talk about like the xFIP and the batting average, the balls in play, and that kind of stuff. The BAP, they're important because is it the guy with a crazy ERA? He has that 4 ERA, but his batting average against is like 205 or 220. Like he's only allowed 200 average. Why is it so high? Well, he gave up some random 3-run homer or just a skewed out game, 6 runs in 2 innings, or he gets shelled one outing. But then you got this guy who's pitching ridiculous sub 2s and sub 1 whips, and he's not considered a good pitcher because he doesn't strike. Oh, he's not a strikeout guy. He's terrible. All right.
He gets 4. He's a strikeout props like 4.5, 5.5 every game.
He's got 37 on the year.
Yeah. It's not a lot. Yeah.
No. I mean, that's not even 4 games. He's pitching 11 games.
Yeah.
You got to be cool. Paul Skeens. That's all I got to say. Paul Skeens is thought of as great. This guy's got. I mean, the strikeouts aren't there, but his other numbers are equal to his with the whips and the BAAs. But no strikeouts, no glory.
I said the same thing about Framber Valdez when he first came up too.
Yeah,
wasn't a strikeout pitcher. Got the ground ball outs, fly ball outs.
He's a strikeout an inning guy. Why the hell would you want a guy who's going to go 205 innings, strike out 202 guys, and pitch to like a 3 to 3.40 ERA? Terrible today's standards. How? Because he's not. Because the crazy thing is, they want somebody who's going to strike out 185 guys in 150 innings, but only pitch like 16 games.
Yeah.
Give me the guy. I'm going to get 200 innings. Pencil. I'll take a strikeout inning. It'll be 200 100%. Innings. I don't have to worry about getting hurt and pitching. You're pitching 30 games.
Absolutely.
You're Nolan Ryan today. You're Kurt Schilling.
Yep.
You're Roy Halladay.
All right, we got the Padres and Rockies. Sean was just talking about the Padres, a team to watch out for in the second half. Randy Vasquez versus Austin Gomber. Gomber, man, Anthony and I will tell you, if we bet against this guy, he pitches like Cy Young.
Cy Young.
I wanted to take the Rockies today, believe it or not. I really want to. Because Padres are playing so hot, but then you get a day off. I'm like, it's like
no value at minus 190.
No.
I got no opinion on this game because I can easily see the Rockies, but I will never take a Rockies on the road outside of Coors.
The Rockies lineup is terrible.
No.
Here's another one. Why isn't McCann on the Yankees? I know they got Jazz, but why? I thought that would be a pickup for him, McMahon, or the catcher, right? Because they get nothing out of the catcher.
Yeah.
Take one of their bullpen arms.
Yeah.
No, I again, Rockies. What about crappy ownership? What are they doing?
Oh, Rockies, man, that organization. I'm telling, they're as bad as the Angels. They're as bad as the Angels.
Terrible.
All right, no line there. A's Dodgers. Estes versus Stone over under 8.5. The A's have been scrappy. I got Gavin Stone going for the Dodgers, who's been real solid though.
Yeah, he's the number one team in the month of July.
That's why the line's 125. It's like I wanted to take the A's today. I wanted to bet them. I did.
Yeah.
I was just like, ugh.
I can't do it.
I like Stone, but Stone's another guy. He's not a sexy guy.
Yep.
No.
People don't like his numbers. 82 strikeouts, 100. Why isn't this guy considered a rookie of the year? Him and Amanga for the Cubbies, playing the whole season. But it's like, him right. What do you call him, Amana, whatever. Well, these two guys. But it's all about Paul Skeens. These guys. Look at his strikeouts. I don't know. These guys have been here 20 starts, having a nice season. 9-4. He'll probably win 13 games. Yep. 13-5 with a 3.30 ERA, and he's not enough strikeouts. They're not good enough.
Go to the bullpen too in the playoffs.
They probably will do that. I don't know why. Why to put out Kershaw, who I love. He's Hall of Famer. The guy's he had playoff issues when he was a flat out stud.
He should be a closer at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. Take a cue from John Smoltz.
Yep.
Go in there for 2 innings. Who are we bringing out? Walter Buehler? How's Buehler been come back for Tommy John? You're going to bring in who? Yamamoto? Like, was he that great?
No, he wasn't.
Who do you have on this team? Flannery, I think, is your best guy. Because at least when he's healthy, and he's still young. I mean, he's 7 years younger than Kershaw. But if he's good, he's going to get not a sexy strikeout guy, so people don't like him. But I'd throw him out in game one. They won't. They'll throw out somebody else.
Yep, we got Willis Twin Towers, Sean's favorite show on the Barroom, coming up next at 7. Are you guys ready to get to a little free plays here?
Let's go.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Free plays. Remember, if we sweep today 3-0 on the show, one viewer will receive a free weekend VIP pass. So retweet any one of the posts from the three of us. And if we go 3-0, free weekend VIP pass. We've been
going 2-1 for the past several weeks. So
yeah.
Let's get it. Let's get this.
2-1 is still good, especially when we're taking run lines at plus 165s.
Yeah. Yep. Anthony's free play. Mets Angels under 9 at minus 110. Talked about this one here. Sean, what do you think of this one? Under 9.
Yes.
Okay.
I like Anderson. You heard me talk about Anderson and about that crappy lineup for the Angels. So 9's good for me.
There we go. All right. Sean's free play, Mariners, Phillies, under 8.
There's 9. We talked about Woo at home.
Yep, Woo at home.
Beautiful.
Kind of like, was it Tyler Phillips for the Phillies? I don't know much about him.
He's got a couple starts. He's been decent in his starts.
Yeah.
But again, regardless of his starts, look into Seattle. I mean, this kid here, 4 games, 25 innings, 19 Ks. You know, you're going to get limited action because 4 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. He is off a complete game shutout, by the way.
Wow.
He threw 105 pitches, 4 strikeouts.
Nice play. The under. This was I thought about having this one as my free play too. A little late line movement we talked about. Doesn't matter. You're getting a better number now.
And I'm guessing this just went up because he threw the complete game, and people think, off complete game, guy's going to get shelled. He threw 6 innings that shut up all the game before that.
Yep. And then
he's playing in a pitcher's ballpark. Yep. And he's playing in a pitcher's ballpark versus a weak lineup. Yep. I mean, just connect all the pieces. It's a perfect scenario for under 8. If you played an over, you know how hard it is to get over 8 runs.
His first game, 4 innings versus the Braves, 3 hits, 1 run. It was a home run, 7 Ks. Next game, the game of start against Oakland, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 homers, 5 Ks.
I wonder what the first 5 under is.
Then he went 4 shutout innings, or 6 shutout innings.
4.5. If it's 8, it's 4.5. It's going to be 4.5 minus 130. That's my guess.
Seattle cannot score. So I don't care if this guy was off 5 straight perfect games. I'm still going to come in. He's not doing, the Mariners haven't hit all year. Well, they did last weekend. I think they scored 10 runs in the game, but that was against the White Sox, not against the Phillies.
Yeah, you got to throw the White Sox series out the window. They
under
were
4.5 minus 125.
I don't hate it.
Under 3.5 plus 135.
Either one. You want to get fancy? Get a little greedy?
Yep. Get a little greedy there. Not bad. All right. My free play A's team total over 3.5 at minus 120.
I like it. I told you I was going to use this game. I kind of like the A's as a team tonight.
Yeah.
I like the A's, hoping they can get some runs off of Stone or get to the Dodgers bullpen, which hasn't been great, this season. And that's the free plays for today. We're back next week. Hopefully, let me know when we can talk some college football. Realignment.
I'm in Vegas next Friday.
Vegas next Friday, so
maybe depending on where I'm at. Showtime. Maybe I'll chime in, give you a little say hello.
Okay.
All right. Set up Sean, winningfreepicks.com. Any home run and RBI props to give them out again? One last time.
We got Twinkies, Miranda plus 130, Santana plus 190, Brooksley, because there's a Lee on the White Sox, but we're going Brooks on Minnesota plus 220, and Castro plus $1.90.
All right. All right, fellas, that's it. We'll see you next weekend. Probably just Anthony and I, but maybe Sean will drop by.
What time is that over there? 6 o'clock? If it's 7 o'clock each, it'll be 4 o'clock. I might be around.
It'll be 5 o'clock, I think. It's Mountain Time, I think.
No, it's Western.
No, it'll be 4. It'll be 4 o'clock.
3 hours. 3 hours back, yeah.
Okay.
I got to see how I'm feeling. I got a 5:45 flight out, but the night before on Thursday, I'm going to see Sebastian Maniscalco. So that'll be great.
Comedian.
So I got to drive an hour to see him, then drive all the family home, and then it'll be 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then what I'm going to do, sleep for an hour? No, I'm going to drive to the airport and sleep in a chair for 2 hours before I board my flight. So
and Dave Koken passed away. Did you know him?
I didn't know him personally. I just knew him from just the business, I guess. I was out the flights with him back in the day, and watching him on TV with Wayne.
Wager Talk.
No, I'm even going back to
way back.
On Pro. I think it was on USA, and I think again after that was on Spike or some other channel. Him, Root, Big Al McMurray, they had a show. I mean, Saturday morning I wake up to watch it. I mean, come on, it was a 20-year-old veteran. It was watching this is fabulous. This is the best thing ever. Why I got into doing this? It's 5 years after that.
Rest in peace, Dave. All right, fellas. We'll see you
that
guys.
That guy was tweeting out games from a literal deathbed like the day before. He was like betting golf. Good for him.
God bless. All right, fellas. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you later. Willis Towers coming up next on the Barroom Network.
Bears under.
Bears under 8.5. All right. Take it easy.
See you guys.